Welcome back to Smackdown 101 at ringside, and we are just less than 2 weeks away from the Bad Blood pay-per-view, and tonight's edition of Smackdown has got huge implications on that show, because in tonight's main event it is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett, and the winner of that match will go to Bad Blood and face Seth Rollins for the Smackdown WWE Championship. Speaking of Seth Rollins, who is of course the leader of the Shield, we are going to be kicking off tonight's Smackdown action with the other two members of the Shield. It is going to be the Tag Team Champions Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns taking on the team of Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville in a non-championship contest. So this is going to be an interesting match. It was only 2 weeks ago Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn left all in the ring to become the first ever SmackDown NXT champion. We know from that one that Adrian Neville of course left as the champion, so Neville is the NXT champion. And the Shield have also had an interesting time as of late, because if we go back to last week's SmackDown, they were victorious in last week's main event. It was supposed to be the Shield defending the Tag Team Championships against the team of Daniel Bryan and John Cena, but as we came to find out before last week's main event, John Cena was found backstage unconscious, unable to compete. Therefore that match went ahead, but as a handicap match, it was Daniel Bryan versus the Shield 2-on-1 with the Tag Team Championships still on the line. Daniel Bryan gave all he could give, but ultimately in the end, it was not enough. So as I said, this match going to be a great match. This match is not a championship match. This is a non-title contest, but if Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville can get a victory over the Tag Team Champions, that is definitely going to put the team of Zayn and Neville on the map. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, currently the two legal men. Sami Zayn now whipped into the corner. Reigns going for that super forearm, not connecting. Zayn now, momentum just about on his side. The backbreaker, great strength for that, shown by the former NXT rookie. Reigns though regaining control there. Samoan drop. And one half of the Tag Team Champions slamming Sami Zayn's head down to the mat the hard way. Picking Zayn back to his feet. Irish whip into the corner. Could be seeing a double team move coming. Gets the tag. Dean Ambrose tagged in. And a big kick to the gut. But Zayn, a rush of adrenaline. A desperation suplex. That could give Zayn the time he needs to tag in his tag team partner. And here he comes, Adrian Neville now the legal man. The kick to Ambrose. And now a big kick to the chin. Ambrose taken down. And now a standing shooting star press. Adrian Neville, one of the most impressive young athletes we have got in the entire roster. But just like that, Dean Ambrose showing why he is one half of the Tag Team Champions. Regaining some form of control. Now Neville out of the corner. The spinning forearm. You can see Roman Reigns on the side of the ring, desperate for that tag. Ambrose currently hasn't seen them. Neville there with the Hurricanrana, going for the pin. Unsuccessful that time. Another tag. Sami Zayn now tagged back in. Roman Reigns still crying out for that tag on the apron. Dean Ambrose, for whatever reason, currently deciding to go at it alone. Or that could be changing now, because Zayn in the corner, but no. Ambrose going for the tag, but Sami Zayn now not allowing it. Instead, signature Sami Zayn. The tornado DDT out of the corner. The crowd going insane. What a move we just witnessed. And now Adrian Neville, the NXT champion, tagged back in. Kick to the midsection. Going for the Irish whip. Dean Ambrose reversing it, and now the right hand. And now Dean Ambrose throwing Neville from the ring. Neville, of course, known as the best high flyer, or one of the best high flyers in the entire WWE. But Dean Ambrose, with the attitude, anything you can do, I can do better. Dean Ambrose, that suicide dive from the ring to the outside of the ring, taking Neville down, crushing Neville on that barricade. And the Tag Team Champions, despite this match being a non-championship contest, treating this one very seriously. You've got to go credit where credit is due. Zayn and Neville, super impressive so far. And Neville there regaining control. The standing corkscrew moonsault. And now it could be that time. Neville to the top rope. The fans are ready for it. The red arrow not connecting. Ambrose out of the way. Ambrose now throwing Neville into the corner. Certainly a crash and burn moment moments ago. Ambrose in control. Nope, reversal in the corner. Neville now attempting to regain some of that momentum. And just like that, Ambrose cutting Neville off, taking him down with that hip toss. And now, what a manoeuvre. The dirty deeds by Dean Ambrose onto Neville. Sami Zayn into the ring. Oh, but Roman Reigns spearing Zayn out of his boots. This was a non-championship contest, but the tag team champions showing why they are the tag team champions. The team of Zayn and Neville certainly impressive this evening, but could not quite get the victory over the tag team champions. Ambrose and Reigns, got to be happy at this one. A great victory by the tag team champions. And now the music of SmackDown General Manager Mick Foley has hit the arena. What has Mick Foley got to say to the tag team champions? John Cena, of course, found unconscious backstage last week before that tag team championship main event. The attackers are currently unknown, but many do believe that was down to the Shield. And breaking news now, Mick Foley announcing a tag team championship match for Bad Blood in less than 2 weeks' time. It will be the Shield defending those tag team championships against the man many believe was attacked last week by the Shield, John Cena, and a tag team partner of his choosing. Who is John Cena's tag team partner going to be come Bad Blood? We'll find out in less than 2 weeks because the pay-per-view not too far away. But moving on, up next, we are going to be seeing some singles action. It is going to be William Regal taking on R-Truth up next on SmackDown. Referee ringing the bell, this one is underway. William Regal making his in-ring return last month at the Rumble, surprising many as a surprise entrant in that Rumble match. As we know, in recent years, William Regal has not been an active superstar on the roster. Instead, Regal has been training the NXT guys down in Florida. But this past week, William Regal telling us he is fed up of training the future stars and instead wants that spotlight back on him. So William Regal decided to put the boots back on, made his return at the Rumble, and is now a full-fledged member of the SmackDown roster. And speaking of Regal at the Rumble, we of course saw Regal defeat, or should I say eliminate, the man that made his iconic debut at the Rumble. The man I'm talking about, of course, the icon, the vigilante known as Sting. Sting making his long-awaited debut in the 30-man Royal Rumble match. Unfortunately for Sting, he was not prepared for William Regal and his brass knucks, because Regal and those illegal brass knucks were the main reason Sting was eliminated. And certainly, since that did happen, that has been one of the big talking points backstage in the last couple of weeks, because William Regal certainly very proud of that moment and very pleased to be the man that ruined the debut of Sting in the WWE. So Regal missed one, showing he has got no ring rust. Like I said, it's been some time since we have seen Regal as an active superstar on the roster. But Regal in this contest, showing the world he's still got the tools to get the job done. Regal possesses arguably one of the best movesets in wrestling in recent years. So Regal is certainly going to be a superstar to keep your eye on from this point onwards. But his opponent R-Truth, who is also putting in a good show this evening. The former member of Awesome Truth, of course, that tag team, has appeared numerous times on SmackDown in the past. However, Truth, now back in singles action, finding himself against the man who eliminated Sting in Sting's first WWE appearance 2 weeks ago at the Rumble. Both superstars showing some great offense. This match has been back and forth, but certainly William Regal with the majority of the offense. Like I said before, this is a new William Regal, a rejuvenated William Regal. R-Truth hitting a couple of his signature moves, including that axe kick made famous by Raw superstar Booker T. Though R-Truth not going for the cover could prove to be a mistake, because William Regal now with those veteran instincts, a move we've not seen in quite some time. Dream Streak by William Regal, and now R-Truth looks to be out of it. Certainly a big mistake there by R-Truth not going for the cover, and certainly paying for it now. Because a very vicious William Regal now with the knee to the skull of R-Truth. Regal certainly not a very popular superstar here this evening. And what is this, a suplex? Nope, a brainbuster into the knee drop. Dropping R-Truth head first onto that knee. Regal now taunting the crowd. R-Truth certainly a popular superstar, but that popularity means nothing in the square circle, because William Regal, as calculating as they come, waiting for Truth to get to his feet, and when he does, delivers a choke suplex. One of the most vicious moves we have seen in quite some time. A choke suplex onto R-Truth, and this one is over. William Regal with his return to SmackDown action with that devastating choke suplex, dropping R-Truth onto that neck, onto that head. Certainly a move that could potentially be outlawed, because that move looks to be as dangerous as they come. But Regal isn't done. Regal now still chair in hand. The lights have gone out, and now the lights come back on. It's the Stinger, the man that Regal eliminated 2 weeks ago at the Rumble via those brass knucks. Sting making his pay-per-view debut 2 weeks ago at the Rumble, but tonight on SmackDown making his television debut. There has been whispers in recent weeks as to what show Sting will be signing for. He was eligible for both Raw and SmackDown, but it looks like Sting, possibly part of his relationship with SmackDown GM Mick Foley, has decided to sign for the Blue brand. Sting getting a measure of payback on William Regal tonight on SmackDown. Sting, a full-fledged member now of the SmackDown roster. And speaking of the SmackDown roster, two of the best wrestlers on the roster today are going to be facing off next, because in tonight's main event, coming up in just moments, it is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett. The winner of this match will head to Bad Blood in less than 2 weeks' time and face Seth Rollins for the Smackdown WWE World Championship. This one officially underway. Daniel Bryan versus Bad News Barrett. The winner will face Seth Rollins for that WWE Championship in less than 2 weeks at Bad Blood. These two great superstars had mixed success last week on SmackDown. Wade Barrett, who was the last SmackDown participant in the Rumble 2 weeks ago, with success last week, dominant against Big E Langston and defeating Big E, a big victory there for Bad News Barrett. However, in last week's main event, Daniel Bryan not getting that success because he was unsuccessful in his attempt to reclaim the tag team championships. Because as we've already talked about in last week's main event, it was scheduled to be a tag team match for the tag team championships. The team of Cena and Bryan, the former tag team champions, taking on the current tag team champions for Shield. However, as we found out, John Cena attacked backstage, we assume by the Shield, unfortunately leaving Bryan in a 2-on-1 situation. So that match did go ahead still for the championships. However, Daniel Bryan, despite coming super close, unfortunately unsuccessful in his attempt to win the tag team championships single-handedly. But tonight on SmackDown, general manager Mick Foley giving Daniel Bryan and Bad News Barrett a great opportunity, as the winner of this match again will go to Bad Blood and face Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. We are witnessing some great back and forth action. Bad News Barrett currently in control. In the corner now, off the second rope with the elbow. Into the early cover. Daniel Bryan now on his knees, but regaining some composure, regaining some form of control there. That deep arm drag, taking Bad News Barrett down. Bad News Barrett, representing England, has declared last week he fully intends to become the first ever British WWE Champion. We will see how that pursuit goes of the championship as the weeks and months progress. But certainly in this main event, if Bad News Barrett can be successful, he will go one step closer because he will get his shot at the WWE Championship and he will get a chance to become the first ever British-born WWE Champion in a match against Seth Rollins 2 weeks at Bad Blood. Barrett now still in control, showing that mean streak. The big knee there, dropping the knee onto the chin of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, who is a former WWE and Tag Team Champion, with that awesome reversal there. Barrett now in a bad predicament. Daniel Bryan going high. Daniel Bryan on the top rope. Barrett attempting to cut him off. Not successful though, but Daniel Bryan there, the front drop kick, taking Bad News Barrett down to the mat. Momentum now shifting to Daniel Bryan. The leg DDT. Now onto the apron. This time again, going the top rope. Last time Bad News Barrett unsuccessful in his attempt to block Daniel Bryan. This time did connect, and now Daniel Bryan in a world of trouble. A massive suplex there by Bad News Barrett. Not going for the cover. Instead, punch after punch, inflicting as much damage as possible onto the leader of the Yes Nation. Of course, as we found out earlier this evening, Daniel Bryan's former tag team champion partner, John Cena, has got an opportunity at Bad Blood to face the Shield for the tag team championships. You've got to assume if Daniel Bryan is unsuccessful in this main event, he will be seen as tag team partner again come Bad Blood. But I'm sure Daniel Bryan, as much as he loves being a tag team champion, would obviously much prefer to be in that main event and face Seth Rollins for that WWE Championship. We are seeing the classic Daniel Bryan kicks now, and he's becoming one step closer to that main event, because kick after kick, followed by that big one, taking Bad News down. The fans going insane. Daniel Bryan certainly one of, if not the most popular superstar on the entire WWE roster, going for the yes lock, but Bad News Barrett reversing it. And now Barrett, just like that, back in firm control. Daniel Bryan now not looking too good. Barrett calling Daniel Bryan back to his feet. Slowly but surely, Daniel Bryan is doing so. And now Barrett off the Irish whip. And the winds have changed by Bad News Barrett. We could be moments away from victory for Bad News Barrett. And this pursuit of becoming the first ever British WWE Champion could be one step closer. Bullhammer time, not connecting. Daniel Bryan reversing the bullhammer. Bad News now into the corner. We know what's coming. The fans can feel it. The comeback moment. Off the ropes. Missing the clothesline. And taking Bad News Barrett down that time. Daniel Bryan can feel it. The fans can feel it. We could be moments away this time from a victory by the leader of the Yes Nation, Daniel Bryan. Bryan now, once again, going to that top rope. Could be looking for that suicide headbutt. The fans on their feet. And he connects. The suicide headbutt by Daniel Bryan. And here we go. The fans going insane. Every member of the Smackdown audience chanting yes along with Daniel Bryan. Going for that knee. Not connecting. Bad News Barrett there. Reversing the single leg running knee by Daniel Bryan. A move that has of course brought Daniel Bryan much success. Bad News Barrett now with that brawling style. The style that brought into the dance here in WWE. Vicious knees there. Vicious big boot. Daniel Bryan now taken down. Bad News Barrett back in the ring. Barrett has got Daniel Bryan exactly where he wants him. And the fans know this is not good for Daniel Bryan. Off the ropes. Oh, but from nowhere, a single leg running high knee. The single leg running high knee by Daniel Bryan to the chin of Bad News Barrett. And just like that, this one is over in a match that you've got to say Bad News Barrett dominated. Just like that, this one via that running knee is over. Daniel Bryan was attacked last week by Seth Rollins and the rest of the Shield, but via this victory has now earned a shot to face Rollins one-on-one for Rollins WWE Championship. The WWE Champion now, Seth Rollins, making an appearance on the Smackdown stage, but his challenger Bad Blood not even acknowledging the champion. Nevertheless, Rollins versus Bryan now confirmed to headline Bad Blood in what is sure to be a fascinating contest. This has been 101 at Ringside, and we will see you all next week.